Okay, welcome back to Bounce Around Charleston. Something very important here. In the Low Country, we love to eat food. There are different types of recipes because of the culture. And I have here with me Darren Campbell and Cheryl Gadsden. And they have Gullah recipes. And that's a wonderful type of tasting food here in the Low Country. And welcome to Bounce Around Charleston.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
I read your book. I went through your book. There are so many wonderful recipes that my mother and my grandmother cooked and made, and you have them all in this book. Tell me, how did you get motivated to be a cook or chef?
Well, a long time ago, I moved out of town. I moved to Atlanta, and I had to force myself to learn how to cook. So I was calling my mother and different family members to tell me different recipes, you know, over the phone, and I started cooking like that. The one of the reasons I did this particular book is I have another book on the market called A Slave Story, and my vendors were telling me that I needed to do a cookbook about Charleston because a lot of cookbooks that's downtown actually are written from people from other places, and they really wanted something authentically Charleston. So I came out with this book. It took me a couple of years to produce, but now I have it where I want it to be, and now, you know, selling pretty good on the market, and we have it at Middleton Place also. And you know, people enjoy it. It has over 50 recipes. A lot of the recipes are family secrets, so it was kind of hard to get from some of the people. But you know, I said, hey, you need to publish it and get it out there so people could, you know, share this love.
Okay, your mother's standing next to you. So, Mom, tell us. Sometimes when he called you, what did you have to tell him?
He wanted to know a lot of recipes, like how to do
Greens.
collard greens, turkey wings.
Is that like a Gullah thing?
Well, yes. As far as we're concerned, yes. And lima beans.
Yeah, lima beans is one of my favorites.
One of the favorite things, yes.
Let me ask a question. Why would we call it Gullah recipe?
Well, the word Gullah started like a long time ago, came from a mixture of Angola and Western African. Used to call it, you know, Angola almost sounds like Gullah a little bit. And then there's a region in Western Africa called Gullah, and really it came, that's where the food came from. Our culture is basically a farming culture. So we, you know, have mastered farming like, you know, for centuries. So actually when we came to America, we actually brought that skill with us, especially the rice planting skills.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned rice, because one of your recipes you have today deals with rice.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Okay, this right here, you know, there's a lot of famous rice dishes that's from Charleston. This right here is called chicken Prelude, which mixes the rice and the chicken together.
Oh my God.
So this one is actually really meaty. I put extra meat in it. So I use 2 chickens in it. But the key to this is using 2 different, using different types of, using a whole chicken basically. So, you know, we use the breasts, you know, and the legs, you know, the dark meat together, so it gives it that total flavor. Yep.
And your own spices.
And my own spices.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. This right here is called Palmetto Blend. It's also on the market. And this right here will make you a chef, even if you can't cook.
What you say?
Yes,
I better buy that today.
And this is, you know, a lot of people are getting this, even in other states. A couple of restaurants are buying it. It's really catching on. It has 7 different herbs and spices in it, so it really brings out the flavor of everything you eat.
Okay. Now, up front, you have a dish here that is well known in Charleston, the Charleston Chewies.
For sure.
Yeah,
Okay, so what is special about yours?
Well, this is my cousin Mildred recipe. It's in the book. Hers, we tried different types, because there's different types of chewies you could get. We tried different types, but hers actually was the best, and she's, you know, so since it was the best, we just decided to put this one in the book.
Yeah, I've had her chewies, yes. They're wonderful. And then, now you know we're famous for the sweet potato pie.
Yes. And
Now tell us about your pie.
Yes, that's also in the book, but one of my aunts, she did the recipe that's in the book, and I just kind of duplicated it for today. But I do make sweet potato pie like at Thanksgiving and Christmas. They love it.
So why is it that a lot of recipes are sometimes a secret?
And sometimes I wonder too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I would feel like you would want people to know, and you could almost brag about it, you know, if it's really good. But some people, honestly, I had to get a couple cousins, I had to twist their arm to give me the recipe. I had to ask them over and over. They said, well, I don't know, if I want to share it. And I said, share the love, And,
Yes.
Okay, Mom, you have a dish behind you. Is there something different there?
Yes, it is.
What is it called?
This is called okra and shrimp. So
Okra and shrimp.
And actually, the word okra is actually an African word. So I wanted to bring something that's authentically African. This is actually okra and shrimp. And you always have to use local shrimp because local shrimp is the most tender. And of course, I put
Tell that one more time. Let the camera get it.
Oh, nice.
Okra and shrimp.
Sometimes people put this over rice, or you could leave it, just put it on the side. Some people might call it, a gumbo, but it's actually, we just call it okra and shrimp. Sometimes we put crab meat inside of it, so it'd be okra, shrimp, and crab. And that's the recipe that's in the book, so I think they're gonna love that one.
Yes.
Okay, now your spice mixture, is that a secret?
Well, not really, because it uses natural spices that we kind of grew up eating. It has a little rosemary inside of it, has some paprika, salt, pepper. Salt and pepper was what we were using like most of the time, back in the days, but I just wanted to spice it up a little bit more, add a little color to it. But I feel like it's the perfect blend.
Okay, and now your cookbook.
Yes.
So, in this book are many recipes.
Over 50.
Over 50
Over
recipes.
50, yeah.
So if a person purchased this book, would it make them a good cook?
I would make them a good cook if they follow the directions and if they use some tomato blend. It will make them a good cook. My son is like, he's getting ready to cook for one of his friends for Valentine's Day, and he was like, I need the spice, and I need to figure out which recipe I need to use, so he's definitely going to use it.
Okay, so people in the book are like who?
Well, they're my cousins, and mostly everyone is from Edisto Island. That's where I'm originally from. And I just want to say, my family culture is really a rice culture. I just found out after I completed the book from my cousin Julius that we had a rice farm on my grandparents' land, and I didn't even know that when I was growing up. I remember we had a lake, but I didn't know it was a rice farm. So the culture is really there. So this is all authentic. Got some recipes from my great-grandmother who passed, also my grandmother and my grandfather. I included everyone that had a favorite dish. Like my grandfather had okra, not okra, he had actually oyster stew.
Oyster stew.
And it's, I remember eating that growing up. So I included that in the book because that was one of my favorites.
Okay. We got to get out of here because we've got to eat some of this food. So, Gullah Recipes and my guest Darren Campbell, along with his mother, Cheryl Gadsden. And for more information, you can visit www.gullahrecipes.com. We thank you all for being here on Bounce Around Charleston.
Thanks so much.
And we're going to tear this food up.
Yes, we are.
In the studio, I have my sister-in-law, and she knows that I am not a cook. So hopefully she's on the corner saying, that book can help you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we've got more for you right after this break.